Alaskans, wherever you are, welcome to the Must Read Alaska Show. Coming to you from somewhere in Alaska. This is the place where we talk about, you guessed it, Alaska. Where we keep the mainstream media on their toes and where we are standing up for what's right in a world run by leftists. You can find out more by heading over to mustreadalaska.com and also checking out the Must Read Alaska YouTube channel for some really great content. But first, let's get this party started.
Welcome, everybody, to the Must Read Alaska Show. I'm your host, John Quick, coming to you live from somewhere in Alaska. I hope everybody's having a phenomenal day today, and I hope that the snow is never going to come back again this year to Alaska. I'm really excited to have some sun. I'm even drinking coffee out of my Arizona mug, just kind of think about the sun. Maybe it'll show up. So I want to thank everybody that listens, watches, and reads Must Read Alaska. If you want to help keep the lights on, just go to mustreadalaska.com. On the right-hand side, there's a little donate button. Every $5, $10, $100 helps keep the lights on here at Must Read Alaska. If you want to sponsor the Must Read Alaska show, just email me, John, John, at mustreadalaska.com. We're coming up on our 400th episode pretty soon. That'll be a fun episode. Suzanne Downing will join me on the 400th episode, and we'll kind of reminisce about our favorite guests so far. We've had a lot, from presidents of countries to governors to small town mayors to business owners to Fortune 500 CEOs. We've had a little bit of everything, but today we have a very special guest today, Danika Baldwin. She is a travel extraordinaire. She's a travel expert for Alaska. She helps people plan their trips to Alaska, does group trips all over Alaska, has her own clothing brand, and she's been on the show a couple times, and people just love it when she's on. So welcome back to the Must Read Alaska show, Danika.
Thank you, John. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me again on the show. I always have so much fun, so thank you.
Well, I'm excited you're here. Before we start, I want to tell people that I'm going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be doing a giveaway. So for somebody that wants to win this awesome Alaska sweatshirt that you're actually wearing here on the podcast today, all they have to do is email me, John, John, at mustreadalaska.com, and say, I want a free sweatshirt. The first person to do that is going to get one of these bad boys. So stop what you're doing now, everybody, and email me that you want one of these sweatshirts, and the first person to do that's going to get one for free. So I'm going to remind everybody at the end too to do that, but it'll be something fun we can do. But before we kind of go into all the cool stuff that you're doing, tell me about what got you started in this in the first place, to kind of drop what you were doing and to pursue your dream.
Yeah. Okay. So I know we've talked about this before, but just a quick recap. So I primarily work, play, live, everything on social media, and my main platform is Instagram. I have a page called Girl in Alaska, and I started it probably, I want to say about 4.5 years ago now. And it started off initially as a flying page because I was getting my pilot's license in Alaska because everyone flies in Alaska. So it was just something I wanted to get into. And during that time, I was also sharing my experiences in Alaska, just flying, fishing, hunting, hiking, going to different places, different restaurants, things like that. And I started to get tons of questions just from people that were wanting to come to Alaska, people that were already coming to Alaska, even lots of locals that just, haven't really done a ton of exploring around Alaska. And I kind of turned it into a business. I started getting all these questions, and I saw a need for kind of like a more modern day travel planner. Not, I feel like a lot of the itineraries and things that you can buy online and things like that for Alaska, sometimes they're a little geared or tailored towards maybe an older demographic. And so I'm kind of trying to reach, the 25 to 40 age group with my travel planning and things like that, my group trips and stuff like that. So started a couple businesses from it. One is the travel planning, so I can help you plan your entire trip to Alaska. I can get as hands-on as you need me to be, or if you just want, to ask me some questions and get some advice, but you want to do a lot of the planning on your own, I can also do like a phone call with you. And then recently, last year, I started doing group trips, which I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later on. And then lastly, I started the clothing brand, my Alaska clothing brand. It's called the Alaska brand. Started that a little over a year ago now. So that's kind of my newest baby. But yeah, that's kind of everything in a nutshell.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about these group trips. They're pretty awesome. So what, walk somebody through kind of what goes into these group trips and talk to us about one of these specifically, because I think it's fascinating. It's a really great idea that you've kind of spearheaded to get people to experience something unique in Alaska and yet still have a blast doing it.
So I myself have kind of made it my mission, and even before this, like I just loved exploring Alaska and camping and things like that. And once I kind of got more into the Instagram thing and I started doing like tour reviews and Airbnb reviews and lodges and things like that, I it was really cool. I met with all these like local business owners, got to know these people. I had such a good time on their tours and staying at their places. And I was kind of like, I want to bring like a group of people here. And so I thought about doing these group trips. I had seen some other people that were hosting group trips and things like that. And I was kind of like, I want to do that, but I want to take it to like another level. I kind of want to offer more of like a bougie experience in Alaska, I guess you would say. We're kind of on my trips, we're hitting like all the bucket list items that you can think of. And as you know, some of those things can be pricey in Alaska, like helicopter tours and things like that. So I wanted this like elevated experience for when people come here. I want you to see and do all the cool things that there is to do, whether it's summer or winter. So I started out with my first trip was a winter trip. I did all women, and the responses from it were really great. I had a ton of interest. I ended up taking a group of 7 girls around South Central Alaska, rented a big Sprinter van. We drove from city to city. We did a Aurora dog sled tour. We went ice fishing. We went winter king salmon fishing in Homer. We did a helicopter tour. We did just all kinds of things. It was amazing and had a really good group of women. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm liking this. Let's do some more. I had 2 other trips after that last year. One was a co-ed trip where I took guys and girls, and we rented those rooftop tents on top of like Toyota Tacomas from Alaska Overlander. Took people
Nice.
or yeah, it took a group of 7 as well, and we went camping for a week around South Central Alaska as well. And that one was super fun. Those rooftop tents are amazing. If you've never rented one of those, they're very fun, very easy to use, and they include everything. So it was really cool. All my guests that came on the trip, all they had to bring was like their personal items, and everything else was provided. But we did a bunch of really cool hikes on that trip and did a kayaking trip and did another helicopter tour. And then the last trip, which is actually the same trip that I'm going to be offering this year, I took a group to the Kodiak Brown Bear Center and Lodge on Kodiak Island. And that one's like a 3-night, 4-day excursion, but it's at like a 5-star lodge. We go brown bear viewing twice a day. They have a 5-star chef, really nice cabins. And last year I did a co-ed trip with that group as well. This year I'm going to be offering, it's going to be an all women's trip to the same Brown Bear Lodge in September. So,
Nice.
yeah.
And my guess is these businesses probably love it because you're posting, not only you are posting, but probably lots of people in the group are posting about their experiences and tagging the business and all this kind of stuff.
Yep, and that was kind of my goal with that as well. Like I said, I met all these local business owners, and we're all in the tourism industry essentially. And so if I can bring you business, if you guys can kick me back business, they'll send me travel clients, or sometimes I can make a commission, and things like that. So it goes both ways. It's really nice.
So how much planning goes into this? Is this, my guess is that's like,
Woo!
you're not just kind of showing up and winging it. My guess is that you have this thing planned out like to the hour.
So with the 3 trips last year alone, I had started planning those like 9 months out. It was insane. I had gotten the idea and I'd gotten really excited. And so I wanted to, just start planning those ones immediately and start booking everything. I know how quickly things book up in Alaska, especially a lot of these, good fishing charter people and things like that. And so I wanted to book everything in advance. And so, it was a lot of other things I didn't think about too, was, putting down all of the deposits. I had to hire an attorney to create waivers and things like that. And so, just all these things that I never thought about, but I learned. And so I got all of that done last year, and this year I've realized I'm like, okay, 3 trips was a lot. Maybe I should just do one. I'm sure we'll talk about more of this too, but I just moved back to Anchorage a year ago. I just got engaged, so I have all these life changes happening. I'm going to be getting married this year and stuff, and so
Hey,
I was like,
congratulations.
thank you, thank you. I was like, let's just do one trip this year because that was a lot.
So can people, is this open yet? Or, if somebody wants to get more information or sign up, or how does somebody go about doing that?
Yeah, yes. So you can go to my website. It's girlinalaska.com. And if you go to the top of my page, there is a group trip section, a category, and you can click on that and it'll take you to all the information, and you can click on the link and check out all the details of the trip and the pricing and everything like that.
Nice. And this will be in the summer, you said sometime. Has the dates already been set?
Yeah, this one's going to be in September. It's September 6th, just because where we're going at the lodge, the brown bears are more active around that time. The salmon in the rivers and streams that we're going to be viewing the brown bears on, they're just starting to spawn off and die. And so the bears are, wanting to get their food before they go into hibernation. And so they're very active around that time. And so I've been there 3 times now, and I went kind of late August and then September, and September it seemed like they were more active. So kind of why I picked that date.
Did you all get to see a lot last year when you went? A lot of bears?
Yeah. So I think we saw 8 different bears, but we see them every day, the same bears. So they kind of feel like they're your bears, kind of, like they're
You like become friends with them?
yeah, like name them all. We're like, oh, there's that mom and that 2 cubs, again, and you kind of see the same bears, and it's really cool. You're truly watching them in their own habitat and environment, and seeing them interact with one another is really cool. There's some of them are very active, and then we'd have this one bear that she did not move. She stood the whole time, but she did not move.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So another thing you do is help people do travel. Just, let's say they're coming up to Alaska, or they got a family trip or a solo trip. You help them kind of plan out those trips. Do you have any kind of availability for that over the summer? My guess is that's probably a little more easy for somebody to book you for, is to help them plan their Alaska trip.
Yeah. I do that remotely. So when I help you plan your trip, it's a lot of phone calls back and forth and emailing and even texting as we kind of hash out the plans. But yeah, I'm open to helping anyone. That's kind of something that I do year round. So I've had a lot of people messaging me really recently asking, like, is it too late to start planning a trip for the summer? And honestly, no. There's still tons of places to stay, tons of really cool tours to do. I would say it's definitely not too late to start planning a trip for the summer. But if you're trying to come in, June and July, I would definitely start looking now, start booking your tickets now and stuff like that, especially for flights, because those just tend to keep going up.
Yeah. They just seem to get more and more expensive by the week or by the day almost.
Yeah, I have some of my clients that, I'm like, if you can get here, depending on where you live, but if you can get here anywhere from $500 to $800, that's a pretty good deal to Alaska.
Yeah, $500 is a phenomenal deal.
Yeah, I had one client. She's like, I don't know. What do you think? They're $513. I was like, buy them.
Oh gosh, buy all of them.
Like, buy them now.
So what's some of the biggest lessons you've learned? There's probably not necessarily a roadmap for somebody starting this kind of a business and doing these kind of excursions, very very entertaining. You have to be a people person, is what I'm trying to say. You can't go hide in the corner after you book these trips. You have to kind of liven the party and be the person that kind of brings the positivity. What kind of learning have you had from this? My guess is you kind of learn how to learn by a fire hydrant with some of this kind of stuff. But what have been some of your lessons along the way?
I tend to take on a lot more than I should because I'm a yes person, and I think I just realized with these trips in general that not only is it a lot of preparation before the trips, but like you said, when you're on the trip, you have to be on like 24/7. You're the first one to wake up, you're the last one to go to bed. I did a lot of the cooking on most of the trips. I had to do the dishes. everyone's sitting around the campfire enjoying themselves, and I'm over there scrubbing pots in the river. So things like
Living the
that.
dream.
And then it's funny that you just kind of side note too from that. So I hosted this women's event last night with my good friend Leslie. And we were with a group of women, and it was all business owners, and we were all talking about, kind of questions like you're asking now. And I just told everyone it's refreshing to kind of hear everyone's story, and just to hear that, like, being an entrepreneur is hard, and you don't realize it until you start your own businesses. And you don't see a lot of the back end work that goes into businesses, like keeping up with your licenses and your LLC, and all this new reporting that we have to do, like with the federal government and now with the state, and all these different things. And just managing your finances, being your own CPA. I mean, all these things. It's a lot. And so that's kind of been I don't know. I've been realizing all that very, very recently.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work. It's not something can be
Work,
easily done.
the cool thing though is I know I'm not alone, and I know that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of us are in the same boat, where it's, we're all just trying to make our dream happen, really. So I'm willing to put in the work.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your clothing brand. For folks listening in, we're going to be doing a giveaway. If you want to win this sweatshirt, all you got to do is email me, John, JOHN, at mustreadalaska.com. First person to do that and say they want a free sweatshirt, we're going to send one of these bad boys to you. But let's talk a little bit about this brand. I think every Walmart and Fred Meyer should have these in their shelves in their little tourist section, all over Alaska. I mean, I don't see why they don't. But talk to me a little bit about why you started this and how it's been going so far.
Yeah, so I've always kind of been known to be the person that I'm always in like an Alaska hoodie. In high school, I wore like an Alaska grown hoodie. I've always been like an advocate for Alaska. I love Alaska. And a couple summers ago, I was traveling all around Alaska. I went to a couple places in Southeast, and every gift shop that I walked into, I wanted to get a cool like Skagway sweater or a Juneau sweater or something like that said Alaska on it. And everyone that I found had, polar bears on it, or their northern lights, or the font was in cursive, or it was just kind of cheesy looking, or the colors were bright, not that I don't love color, but I just wanted something that was like modern, clean, with like a simple design, neutral colors, something that men and women could wear, something that if you came to Alaska and you went home, you would actually like want to wear this. And so I just kind of had this idea I was like, maybe I should just make my own sweaters. And that's kind of where it started and where I got the idea from. And then I started using a local screen printer, and I've been switching gears now. I found newer manufacturers and things like that, trying to get my profit margins better and all these things. Again, things that you don't think about, packaging supplies, bags, boxes, tape, all the things when you're, shipping products out.
Postage.
Yeah, little things like that you don't think about that comes off,
every 30 cents counts when you're selling a sweatshirt.
Especially with clothing, you have to sell a lot to make a lot. And so right now I'm just kind of building the business, learning. I'm trying to get my name out there. It was the Alaska Wholesale and Gift Show market. It was like in January at the Danika Center, where a bunch of gift shop owners from all around Alaska come, and they are looking for new products for their gift stores. And so I got into 4 gift shops this year around Alaska, which is really
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So one's in Denali, Salcha, I've got Soldotna, and Petersburg. So yeah, so that's kind of my goal. I'm going to do the wholesale market again. I want to get into all of the gift shops and cruise ports and things like that. And I would love to be in Walmart and Fred Meyer.
Yeah, they sell, all of them probably have that little tourist section.
Yeah.
And it would be awesome if they actually featured some local people. It's probably all just kind of corporate material, is my guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm having fun.
So do you is it just online, or is there somewhere somebody like now could physically show up and buy a sweatshirt?
So primarily it's online. I only advertise through my Instagram. I've only done organic advertising so far. And you can also, I live in Anchorage now. I used to live in Soldotna, so it was a little harder to get to me. But now that I'm in Anchorage, I will do free local deliveries, meetups, pickups, whatever's easiest for you if you're in the Anchorage area. And then I also do some pop-up events and markets and things like that occasionally. So just follow either or both my Girl in Alaska page and the Alaska brand page. And I'll be posting about all the events that I'll be at this summer. One of which will be at the Fairbanks Midnight Sun Festival in June for the solstice.
Nice. So
yeah.
What kind of advice would you give folks that are maybe wanting to start their own journey or path into entrepreneur world? You are somebody that a lot of folks look up to as, you're out there doing your thing, documenting your successes. And I think a lot of people think that's really awesome. But I think for a lot of folks, it's hard to make that first step. What kind of advice would you give to folks that want to make the first step, but maybe find it very difficult to?
Yeah, I would say, learn from others. When I first started out and I was wanting to make this a business and I was wanting to get into travel planning, I started following those types of accounts on Instagram so that I could get ideas, so that I could learn from other people. Also, something that I've just found just from putting myself out there and networking and, going to like women's events or, group hikes or anything that's, something like that where you'd be really surprised. I've had so many times where I go on a group hike and I meet someone and it's like a really cool business opportunity that comes about. So, make new friends, meet people, be around the people that you want to be like, I guess, and watch the people that you want to be like. Don't watch things that aren't going to help you achieve your goals, I should say.
Amen to that. So what's the ultimate goal for you and these businesses? Is this something that you want to keep growing and keep spearheading? What's some of the dream goals for you with this kind of stuff?
Yeah. I think with my Instagram page, I've been talking with my friends a lot about this lately. My page is going to be kind of changing as my life changes, as I get married, as we, try to have a family and things like that. And so my hope and goal would be that my followers continue to want to follow my journey. Because I was saying this to some other people. I love Alaska. I'm all about Alaska, but I'm more than just Alaska content in Alaska. So I just want people to see that other side of me. And that would be my goal with my page. With the brand, I just want to continue to kind of grow it, get my name out there, get into as many gift shops as I can, and hopefully make this, a household name brand in Alaska one day.
Nice. Well, I think everybody that has a friend or a family that likes Alaska needs to buy your sweatshirt for a Christmas gift or a birthday gift this year. So we're going to put the links into the podcast description. I want to encourage everybody to go to check it out. Go buy a sweatshirt. Go buy two if you want. Any last minute thoughts here before we head off? 30 minutes has gone by in a flash.
That's it, guys. I will put a discount code on the website as well. So if you are wanting to purchase anything, I'll have John list the discount code as well for 10% off your first purchase.
Nice. Look at that. I love that. Well, I really appreciate you joining us here on Must Read Alaska. You're welcome back anytime. We wish you nothing but success here from Must Read Alaska. And it's fun to see you have success. And for folks interested to hearing and learning about this more that maybe just caught the tail end of it, I want to encourage you to go back and listen to the whole thing. You're going to hear some inspirational stories on somebody really pursuing their dreams in life. And so I want to encourage folks to go listen to the whole thing. If you listen, watch, and read Must Read Alaska and you want to help keep the lights on, just go to mustreadalaska.com. On the right-hand side, there's a little donate button. Every $5, $10, $100 helps keep the lights on here at Must Read Alaska. If you want to sponsor the Must Read Alaska show, the #1 political news show in Alaska, just email me, John, John, at mustreadalaska.com. We hope everybody has a phenomenal rest of the week. We hope the sun comes out. And until next time, I'm John Quick from somewhere in Alaska.